And I'm wondering, were there other Easter eggs in the program? I don't know if you noticed this, but I noticed it live, and then online, man, it felt like it was everywhere right after, where people were noticing the final scene with The Rock and Cody brawling outside in the rain in 50 to 53-degree Chicago weather, and Rock's running around with a tank top on, which was awesome. There's a big tractor trailer there that moves all the WWE rings and lighting and rigs. And now remember, he's referred to himself as the final boss. And in the background, we see these trucks, and we've seen them a lot, but normally there's a lot of current talent on there. This particular truck, which I admit I've never seen before, but I don't know that it's brand new, but it certainly made me wonder, is that a coincidence that the only two other people that are seen in this shot, besides Cody and The Rock, are the faces on that big tractor trailer being John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin? We've heard the rumors that John Cena is going to appear at WrestleMania. We don't know at what capacity, but he's going to be there. And it does stand to reason. It's WrestleMania 40. It's in Philadelphia. It's the 25-year anniversary of when Stone Cold wrestled The Rock in the main event at WrestleMania 15. We're back in Philadelphia. He called himself the final boss. Is that an Easter egg? Is that some foreshadowing? What say you, Eric?
I'd say that truck was lit. I mean, lit, professionally lit for the cameras. Yeah. So that was not, oh, look at that, just happened to be there.
And it framed up.
No, I mean, it was centered in the frame. It was, you know, Rock made sure he was positioned, and he positioned Cody to make sure that we got a full look at it. I mean, if you look at that right now, that image is probably 25% of that frame, you know, and it was lit properly. So no, that was a really cool Easter egg. And it, you know, kind of opens up the door. Not so much with Cena, but the 25-year anniversary you referred to with Rock. Could Rock get involved? Could Rock be the surprise that Cody needs at the right time? You're saying
Rock. You mean Austin.
I mean Austin. Yes, I'm sorry, Austin. Thank you for the catch. Yeah, could Austin be there to, you know, lend an assist if Cody needs it with regard to? I don't know. But see, here's the fun part. We're talking about it, and we don't know, and we're curious, and we're wondering, just like we wondered what Rock whispered to Cody. When you can get your audience asking questions, whether it's on social media or back in the day, they called it water cooler talk, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody would get together, you know, the next day after Raw or after Nitro, and, you know, talk about what happened. That was one of the reasons the shows were so successful at that time, because people were engaged. And I think the less is more approach with Cody and Rock in the beginning created that question that was, as you pointed out correctly, thread throughout the show. It didn't just happen and then, oh, that's right, I remember that. By the end of the show, they threaded it throughout the show to make the audience focus. What they really did is they told the audience to pay attention. And subtly or subliminally, you're telling the audience to pay attention because something big is going to happen at the end. But they do it in the form of a question as opposed to a threat. Rock could have come out and said, Cody Rhodes, before the end of the night, I'm going to bloody you up and make your mama cry. Okay, now I know what's going to happen. I'm not curious. I may tune in to see it, but I'm not curious about it. But the way they did it got us all talking and asking. And I love that. You know, who's the third man? It's the reason the NWO worked as well as it did. There's a variety of reasons, but one of the big ones is who's the third man? Because for months, people were asking the question, who's it going to be? And if you can get the audience to ask questions as opposed to making statements, you won. Creatively, you won. And that's exactly what last night's show did so effectively. So yeah, I think it was intentional. I think it is a foreshadow. Here's another good one. If you want to go back and watch it, there's a couple other things, you know, business of the business wise, not so much storyline or character driven, but when we first start to go outside, Rock's laying out Cody backstage. He's dragging him around, bouncing him off shit, hitting him with a garbage can, all that good stuff. He goes to take him outside. And as he opens the door, what do we see? We see the back of Cody's bus.
Yep.
which is wrapped with a Wheatley vodka advertisement. Now, I don't know what that deal is. I don't know if that's a Cody deal or a WWE deal.
WWE
But
deal.
here's what I do know. What was it, Conrad?
WWE deal.
It's a WWE deal. Okay, now I'm even more convinced. So Rock opens up the door. The door's over his left shoulder. As he opens up the door, he holds it open. And once again, right in the center of the frame is Wheatley vodka.
Yep.
How awesome is that? I mean, that's the business of the wrestling business. And
Yes,
that's a big step, because now we've talked about this a lot of times over the last 5 years. Alcohol and wrestling have just never been able to find a way to play together.
Right.
That's another big thing that's changing. And that's a massive thing for business, because if you can open up the door to alcohol advertising within the show, you've got a plethora. I love that. I don't think I've used plethora on the podcast. If I have, it's been a long time. You have a plethora of brands out there who have a hard time advertising because they're alcohol. It's expensive. And now they've got a great audience to advertise to that is opening up the doors to them where they've been closed before, whether it was WWE closing the doors or USA closing the doors, or maybe the vodka industry or the alcohol industry just being too afraid of wrestling because of the kids in the audience. But whatever, man, they're embracing it. And I just thought it was really cool the way they did that. And there were so many other examples, Michael Cole and whoever it was doing color and play-by-play for a fucking Godzilla movie. I mean, did you see that? I don't know if you skipped through the commercials or not.
I skipped through that. I missed that.
Oh my God, it was awesome. It was so well done. And not really commenting on the quality of how well it was done, because it really, really was. But the fact that somebody sat down and negotiated a deal with a movie company, which have historically they've spent a lot of money in advertising and wrestling over the decades, right? They were always a go-to. If there's movies coming out a certain time of year, you could always plan on that ad spend within wrestling. But WWE is now taking it to an entirely different level, and in such an effective way. You go back and check out that commercial. It's really interesting. And the fact that they can make an interesting commercial that holds your attention inside of a wrestling show is another big step forward.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.